So I guess I'll do a quick little video on how to prepare for this new update. So pretty much, depending on when they add it to the store, you're going to want to get converters, mystic gem converters. Now, I recommend doing it for your empowered gems, and depending on how cheap and affordable and how many bound brilliance you have, you could just keep on crafting gem converters for your main class. And your main class should be a farming class because you'll need a ton of sparks. So you could just go through each elemental world. You could even play Boomeranger if you really wanted to. But the idea is you want to get everything to Mystic because you get a ton of coefficient. And then with max light, 13.3k lights, that is a lot of light. So I hope they add this option in the store because I'm not about to spend 200 soul adepts, and I'm sure you guys probably don't want to either because you have to upgrade your gear. Or if you don't care, then I guess you could go for this upgrade option. But the main thing is your cosmics. So what I would do if I were to level up my gems is I would use the converters on these first to get the light bonus. So what I would do first is use it on your empowered gems starting with the cosmic. Then once you got the empowered gems, you could go for these lesser cosmic gems and get those up with your lights. And then from there, it's going to be optional if depending on if you have the resources or not, the credits, the cubits, depending on what ends up happening in the store. Since it's not there, I have no idea. But if you have the cubits and it's just 15k cubits for the mystic gem converter, then I would say go for it as long as you have them available and you don't need to spend them on anything else. But if you're still worrying about the star chart and other things, for the star chart, the main thing is getting to the light portion. I mean, you can get Scorpius from here, but this is the big one, 150 light. The other one's 50. But this doesn't really give you power rank, so that's kind of the route I would go with in terms of upgrading your gems. So definitely do the empowered ones, and then from there, you can see your options. You can see if you can farm it and kind of get these lesser ones done. And then the other ones, like I said, it just depends on your gear. Like for myself, I'm going to upgrade everything for one class. Now I'll have to decide if I want to do Boomeranger or Shadow Hunter, or I might just do both or all classes depending on if there's a cubit option. But if it's expensive, then I'll just go through all of my classes and just do the empowered gems. And I might even switch out my old empowered gems with some better abilities. But yeah, for gems, that's what I would do. And then for gear, I'd say try to get them to at least 3-star mystic if you can. Start with 2 stars and then upgrade your weapon to 3, and then upgrade your hat and face to 2, and then upgrade your hat and face to 3. Like I'm using Boomeranger and I've swapped my stuff over to Solarion, so it does work as well. I was able to pretty consistently farm in D15. If I use Q for martial emblem and stuff like that, I'll pretty much be really close to one-shotting. And one more thing I forgot to mention about the gem thing is that they actually added this thing. So it's kind of funny because they wanted to combat the dupers. So they're like, you know what? We're going to release this new item called the 10th life. We're going to keep it the exact same. We're going to call it a 10th life for whatever reason. And you can craft 15 a week. This is their way of combating the dupers. It makes absolutely zero sense. The only reason why they added this 10th life, a new resource, is because so many people ended up duping the old scaly boxes. They're able to get a ton of gem booster boxes and get a bunch of 9th lives. So then that's why they introduced the 10th life. But for whatever reason, they're like, hey, you can still use your 9th lives. You can just convert them 1-to-1 ratio. So it doesn't really change anything. You can still convert them. It is 15 a week, but you can still convert them. And to me, this is kind of a crazy thing, but I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of over gems at this point. I'm just kind of at a loss of words right now with what they're thinking with this. But that means we can all just use our 9th lives to convert. But then again, some of us just don't have 9th lives because we were spending it on our crystal and stellar gems. So I don't know. The devs don't really do a good job with the whole transition of going to a new gem. Because I guarantee you the same exact situation is going to happen with whenever we get a newer set of gems. Probably going to be many years into the future, but it's going to happen. And then pretty much from there, you're going to have to cycle between a few different things. So depth stealth farming, if you can get a group, you can even solo it if you really wanted to. You can start as low as 165, and the cool thing about doing these delves is that whenever you break the box, there's a 15% chance, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, to get one of these mystic gem shards. You can get anywhere from 1 to 3 when you open the box, and that's going to be pretty helpful for the converter, but just in general for upgrading your gear, because you're going to need this resource to get from level 30 to 35. You will get these from depth stealth farming, and on top of that, you're going to get soul adepts whenever you open the vault. So it's going to be very good to do those on Mondays, because you get a bonus amount of souls just by 1. But at least it's something. So definitely make use of your Mondays. And then for the other days, I would say you can do D15 5 farms, because not only are you gonna get the encrusted runic trunk boxes, which I opened all but one. I have some, but they buffed the amount of souls that you get from this just by a little bit. I'd say pretty close to around 500, like plus or minus 50 or something like that. Whereas before, our old stack of encrusted runic trunk boxes, I made a video opening them, so if you want to check that out, but the average was 250 to 300 per stack, so you're getting more than that. In terms of preparations, you need to get gem sparks, and a lot of it for each elemental type, and you want to save up these encrusted runic trunk boxes, and then once this goes to live servers, then you can open these boxes. And then if you have leaderboard chests laying around, that would come in handy for this update, because you could get a 9th life from it. And if you can't find a group for 5-star farming, then you can just solo farm in whatever world you want. I would probably stick to Geo Topside first, just so you can focus on your cosmic gems, because you want to get the lights. Then once you're done with that, then you can move over to the other ones. And the cool thing about doing it in Geo Topside is that you get the Prime box as well, as long as you have the club fixture active, the Opulence or something like that. Yeah, Effigy of Potent Opulence. You get the Elemental Gem and then the Prime box as well. And then we do have the block. That one I went over in previous videos. It's pretty simple. 25 credits, 250, I believe it was 250 or 350 cubits, but it's pretty cheap. You can get it from your first daily star bar. That is if you want to use the block, you don't have to use the block. And then the other resources was block of elements. You can get plus 500 for 5,000, or you can get plus 100 for 1,000 block of elements. It is an option, you don't have to use it. That's probably like the only thing I like about this update so far, apart from the damage that we do. That's the other thing. But yeah, it's pretty much it. In terms of preparations, just farm encrusted runic trunk boxes and farm a bunch of elemental sparks. I believe it is coming out this coming week, so on either Monday or Tuesday, whenever they want to release it. And if they don't release it then it's going to be the next week. It's going to be very soon. So I would prepare as much as you can, and then once the update hits, then you can go ham with farming the elemental worlds, D15-5 farming, or a bunch of Soul to Depth runs. I say Soul to Depth, but I mean the Depth Delve. And if you're unsure where to get the portal, you want to go to any of the elemental worlds. There's going to be an outpost, which is pretty much like spawn, but the outpost is going to look like a ship. It looks exactly like a ship. There's a bench inside where you can craft your portals, or you can go to the turtle and craft it for cubits. That's what I usually do. Or you can just buy it on the market. It's on the marketplace as well. I am not too sure if the prices are going to drop when this goes to the live servers, but I would imagine that more people would be able to access D15, considering 42.5k power rank. It was a bit of a milestone, but now with mystic gems, if you can get that early on, that would help boost your power rank a ton. But yeah, all my gems are maxed out in terms of augments, but they're at level 30 for the most part. Apart from this is 32, and then these are at 35. All boosts into lights, and yeah, the coefficient is insane. We do a ton of damage. All right, I have no idea what I did. I just ran around in lava and I got random essence somehow. I don't know if that's going to be a consistent thing, but I guess there we go. So okay, I'll kind of showcase this with my Boomeranger. So this is the damage that we're looking like. So this is just basic attack, nothing else, just pure basic attack. And then I'll just go to another one and press Q. All right, well, we got a world boss, but I'll fight him anyway. But yeah, that was pretty fast. That was pretty fast. And then do I have Cyclone? I do have Cyclone. So I don't know, it's pretty easy to farm with Boomeranger. And this will transfer over to Solarion, so as long as you're pressing Q. I'm only at 60 mil coef. I'm not even max. So once you get max, you can get upwards of like 90 mil coefficient, depending on your star charts, your build, and things like that. And then if you use the Mana Beast ally, like I've used Solarion. Solarion is amazing for these as well, as long as you're pressing Q. And as long as you're maxing out every class, then they're pretty much all going to be viable. Just know that some classes will be better than others. Like Tomb Raiser are probably going to be pretty slow farming over here, and you probably won't do as much damage. Shadowhunter, you can still use them as long as you max them. Pretty much that's how everything goes. If you max them, you can do fine. And if you're unable to do damage here, hopefully you can find some groups for depth stealth farming, because then you can get the mystic gem shards at least, which is kind of weird how you get those from delves, but I guess there you go. And you get the soul to depths. And yeah, apart from that, just make sure you're doing your contests. Definitely do your contests, even if it's as horrible as this one, collecting companion eggs, because the main thing is getting these resources over here, and you can eventually convert those to 9th lives the more you collect. And then I guess while we're on that topic, you're probably going to need Bound Brilliance, and depending on where you're at, you might just need everything. So just know that contests are there. They have really good rewards. I say really good, I mean this is not really that good of a reward. Neither is this one, but I don't know. I put in my complaints in the Trove Discord channel, the PTS area, but I don't think the devs are going to consider it. But I did have people that agreed with me, so it's nice to see that people want to see better rewards. And yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. That's the main preparation stuff. If you have any questions, drop it down in the comments down below. There's really a whole lot to it. We just have gems, and that's pretty much it. Gems and depth delving. So on that note, I will wish you guys luck on your farms. You still have some time to prepare, so just keep at that. And on that note, thank you all so much for listening, watching, viewing, and subscribing, and I'll talk to you guys later.